In the last video, I had to leave off with having the template fit for the firewall that we're going to be putting in this. If you're following along, you can kind of see I did some things off camera. I put the fenders back on, and I put a little valance on the front. And you might be able to tell it's not a Ranchero or a Falcon lower valance. We'll talk about that in another video, but what I need to do is get these fenders back off and show you what we're going to be working on when we get the front end off this, and we'll come back. That went pretty quick. Now we can get into the area that we need to focus on. In the first part of this video, we're going to take care of some rust. I need to be very clear. What I'm about to do is not a good restoration practice. Now, if you've been with me through this, you know that this is the first time I'm doing these things. However, this car was intended to just be a throw together build. And what I'm about to do is going to be sufficient for what I need. And we'll walk through that right now. So like I said, if you've been watching, you know that I cut through this with the Sawzall whenever I was cutting the firewall out. I did stitch it back together where there was good metal. Now what happens in this area is water will come in through these vents and it will drain off on either side. And over here, we still have, well, it's not even really decent here, but you can see that the water would come and drain off right here. And what happens over time is if there's leaves or mice make a nest up in here, the leaves will hold the water and cause these areas to rust out. So this side is still pretty well intact, other than this area right here. And then, you know, some holes through here. And I guess this side is actually a little bit more intact on this area, so you can see what would happen is the water would run out and drain off of here, and then it would just drain down onto the ground. But you can see all this is in bad shape. And this as well. Now, I want to at least patch this up where water can still come in. The other thought that I had was just shaving this, and maybe that's the best idea overall, but then we still have the windshield washer squirters here. All these areas will allow water to get in, and I don't plan on this getting out in the rain much, but I don't want to be worried if I do get caught in rain. With that being said, I do want to address these areas before I go any further. So my plan is to wire wheel this rust here, use a rust converter, and then use a fiberglass reinforced body filler to fill this these holes in. That is what I'm about to do. Well, the rust converter has had time to dry or cure, however you want to look at it. And it's time to mix up our fiberglass short strand filler. It actually looks pretty decently mixed. There's not any fluid at the top, which a lot of times when you open these, there's fluid sitting at the top. So we're going to go ahead and try this quart paint sticks from Lowe's. Seems pretty flimsy for what we're trying to do, but I do have a regular 1 gallon stir stick on hand. So if this doesn't work, we'll switch to this. So it looks like this might work. Just kind of want to mix it up, make sure that everything's good to go. And I don't want to mix up a whole lot right now. I just want to do a little bit, make sure everything is going to work the way we want it to. One reason to push this all together is it's pretty common to say that we have a golf ball to a pea on the mixing ratio. So if we get about a golf ball size of the part A, and then we put a pea size of the hardener, then we should be pretty good. And here, I bought these from Lowe's as well. This was a full-size spreader. I cut it to about 1 inch and then whatever the rest of this is. And you'll see as we get going why I'm doing this. All right, so we're going to assume this is about a golf ball size, this is about a pea size. We'll go ahead and mix it up. So we do have a green base, and I'm curious to see what happens once we get this all mixed up, if it changes colors, or if it's gonna basically stay this green color. Which it wouldn't surprise me if it stays the green color. And I did not look to see what our working time is. I'm sure the auto body guys watching right now are cringing. So all right, let's move to the vehicle. Some of the fiberglass reinforced body filler in some areas that had some rust holes, mainly some small ones. And I'm pretty happy also with the rust converter from Rust-Oleum that I used. So right now what I'm going to do is go ahead and do some sanding. I'm going to put that on time lapse. I'll recoat a couple areas. You know, I missed that hole right there. This side looks a little rougher. I was kind of in a hurry when I did this side. Once I get these sanded, I'm going to do some final filling. This side, I kind of want to fill this edge and then do this waterfall right here, kind of to match the other side. And I am fully aware that this is not the best method of repair, but it is the way I'm going to be doing this repair. Well, we're going to repeat this process several times, so I'm only going to capture a little bit more on camera. I'll show you where we're at right now. There is one thing I want to show you. So here, this is starting to look pretty good. Just got to get that sanded pretty smooth. And I've got some touch-ups in that hole. This side also looking pretty good. I'll get this sanded smooth. This is the area that I kind of wanted to, I'll show you shaping this. We'll get some shape on it and then we'll add some more material to it so we can finalize the shape here. And as I said at the beginning of this video, this is not the correct way to do a restoration. This is just going to get us by on this car that's probably not going to be out in the rain in the future. So I'm just going to cut to a time lapse. We'll take care of getting this sanded down, and then I'm probably just going to finish up, and I'll bring you back once we're completely done, and then we can move on with the template. So this looks really nasty, but I think one more sanding, filling, and sanding, we should be done with this area here. I've already went and sanded the other material, but this is the area I wanted to focus on. And one thing I also want to mention is we're going to have a piece of metal that mounts here. So anything past this that is solid is good, because we just need to come out and let the water drain. I'm still going to try to make this look as nice as I can and meet my expectations. So I'm just going to try and shape this up, and like I said, we probably got one more coat of this material and then we should be done. So I'm going to do some hand sanding to kind of smooth this out, which you can't really see from your angle. But you can see we're getting pretty close to what I'm looking to. You can see we're getting pretty close to what I'm aiming for. So here shortly we will come back. Like I said, probably going to go ahead, fill this in, and get it finished up. Come back and show you what it looks like. After some sanding and some filling and some sanding, we have arrived at this. I'll show you where we're at. So this is the passenger side, probably, obviously. This should look a little different. And this is not 100% ready for welding our firewall in, but we do have those lower cowls repaired, and this one is the one that required a little bit more work, so you can kind of see how I've got it shaped. And let's take a look at the other side just so you can compare this side to this side. You'll notice this little lip right here. I tried to mimic that on the other side. And that's where you see this lip right here. So I'm going to wipe this down with acetone, and then we'll put some primer on it, and we'll come back. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for on this video. I'll bring in real quick to show you a sneak peek on what you can see in the next video, and then also kind of where we ended up with the waterfall on the driver's side. So here, you can see it's not perfect, but it does look a lot better. I did sand this down, got that smooth, and got the rust preventative on there, or the rust converter. But if you come back on the next video, you can see we got the firewall fitted. So that is the next video. If you like what you've been seeing so far, I do have a playlist for this car going back from when I got it, and I had to cut the entire bottom out of it because it was all rusted out, and getting the S10 frame underneath of it. So if you're interested in checking that out, it'll be in the description, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch this. Let me know if there's anything that you want to see more in depth, if you think that I'm spending too much time showing you stuff that doesn't make sense for me to be showing you. But I'm trying to put the information out there showing how I do things, and I will be very upfront when I feel that maybe I don't do it the correct way, but everybody's got their own way of doing things. But anyway, thanks again for watching. We'll see you on the next video.